Hey guys, I am so excited to be trying Hung Vango's new makeup. I was sent this really beautiful PR package, which includes this incredible, look at this incredible makeup case. This is like professional makeup artist situation here. But he sent along, a couple of blushes, some of the lipsticks, a lip liner, an eyeliner, and all of the eyeshadow palettes. So I will be swatching all of the eyeshadow palettes for you. I will not be putting all of the eyeshadow palettes on for you. I'm sorry, it's just a lot, but I am gonna be using the one palette that I was most excited for, which was the neutral palette. And it was actually sitting in my Sephora cart. And then I got this package, which is so incredible. So it's called the New Neutral. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. I may throw some shades in from the wonderful Warm and also from the Composed Cool. Those were the three that I was most interested in. But let me put this down. I'm going to get everything out of the packaging and we'll just start applying and doing some swatches and getting into it. Okay, so we're going to start with the Soft Blurring Bronzer. They sent over the shade Straight Forward. So here is the packaging. I love this red with just a hint of orange in there. You guys know this is like my favorite red. And this is like a soft touch kind of plastic packaging, but it's not like the NARS where I feel like it's going to be super sticky after a while. It just has like a smooth kind of feeling to it. So here is the Soft Blurring Bronzer. Again, I have the shade Straightforward. There is a mirror on the inside, which is really nice. And I'm just reading from the little card that they sent me along with the products, but the Soft Blurring Bronzer, it is a blurring powder bronzer to warm skin tone with a dimensional soft focus finish. There's 6 shades designed to enhance warmth of your natural skin tone, named for qualities that Hung admires. So Positivity is the fair shade. This one's Straightforward. Then there's Hardworking, which is medium for medium skin tones. Resilience, which is medium dark skin tones. Discipline, dark skin tones. And then Loyalty for deeper skin tones. So I'm so excited to try this. Let's do a quick swatch. I like the warmth in there without it being too yellow. It has like a nice peach tone to it. And for the bronzer, it's made in Italy. It is 0.55 ounces, 15.5 grams, and it looks to be a pressed powder. So we're not dealing with like a baked product. All right, so I thought I would also take this opportunity to use the new BK Beauty Nikki LaRose collaboration. So they've come out with, I think they're calling it like volume 2, part 2? I think volume 2. Anyway, part of this collaboration is this giant fan brush, which is so perfect for bronzers. I love a giant fan brush. Sonia G turned me on to them when she first came out with her, like, what did she call it? Was it the fundamental brushes or foundation brushes? Gosh, that was so long ago. Anyway, sorry, I'm like rambling. But this is the N18. And, oh, I'm so excited to try this. Okay, so I'm gonna just dip in lightly because it's much easier to add than subtract in both makeup and cooking and baking. Okay, so a little bit of kick up. Not too much. I've got just a little bit on the brush here. I'm just going to tap off any excess and just, oh, I forgot to mention, I do have foundation and concealer down. So I'm using my Dior foundation stick in 2N, and then I'm using the Farrah Homidi Essential Skin Compact. I can't remember the full name, but it's the one that looks like a little concealer, could be used as a foundation. I have that on in shade, I believe Creme is the shade. I'll list it down below in the description box for sure what I'm using because I just need to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's Creme. That is what I have down on my face, and that's it. So we're going right in with the bronzer. I'm just gonna pounce just on the perimeter of my forehead here and then under my cheekbone. And gonna blend out. This brush is fairly dense, which I like. You know, fan brushes tend to be very wispy. They tend to just sort of apply product just to the surface of your skin, like a little whisper. I feel like this brush is meant to like really blend and work product in, which I really like. So there is the bronzer, quite nice. Now I do just want to tell you, I've had like a little eczema situation kind of pop out on my forehead. I think it's from all the traveling that I did. I end up getting like really dehydrated. I'm on a dry plane. It was like humid when I was in Milan. It's actually been kind of humid here in Vegas. Anyway, the weather's changing. Whatever the case is, my eczema is like rearing its ugly head. And I just wanted to point that out because I don't want you to think that that's the bronzer, like not blending out or something. That is my eczema. So anyway, it's there. Just gonna brush all over my forehead too to warm everything up. Beautiful tone, really, really blurring. I really like the blurring. It looks like a filter, like a soft focus filter has been applied to my cheek in that area. Really nice. Really nice. I mean, I have high expectations for this collection. I love HUNG VANGO's work. I think like every time one of his models like pops up either on YouTube, because he has a YouTube channel, definitely check it out if you're looking for tutorials from a pro, check it out, or on Instagram when his like photos pop up on my feed. They always stop me, you know, like we're so inundated with content, but every time one of his faces comes up, I'm like, what is that? What is that? And I'm like, oh, it's another one of like HUNG's creations. So anyway, love his work. So I've had very, very high expectations for this makeup. This bronzer is quite nice. I feel like I can use this tone to not only bronze, you know, warm up my skin, but also contour a bit. It's not too warm underneath my cheekbones here where it looks a little silly. Let's put some over my nose there. Yeah, okay, all right. Thumbs up so far. So that's the bronzer. Next, let's try the blush. I'm very, very excited for this blush. I just love blush. So they sent over the shade Second Language. And this is the Very Beautiful Velvet Blush. So there's 6 shades for this. There's Second Language, which is this one, Rose Pink. Then there's also Single Mother, which is Poppy Pink. Full Circle, which is a Berry Pink. Born from Beauty, Light Peach. Legacy, which is a Coral Red. And Possibilities, which is a burnished orange. And I love that the 6 shade names pay tribute to the immigrant experience. I'm first generation. My parents were immigrants to this country. So these names really, they hit deep. They hit deep. Okay, so we're going to be trying Second Language. And if this is good, then I am definitely going to be purchasing some more. So fingers crossed. I've got the Nikki LaRose N20 brush. So this is a nice fluffy, I would say like mid-size face brush. And she does also have this angled, like denser brush, but I feel like this would be good for cream products. Sorry, is that in focus? I feel like this would be good for cream products. So I'm gonna stick with this one. This one, again, looks like just a pressed powder, which is very nice. Nothing, you know, nothing complicated. It is made in Italy. The weight is 0.29 ounces, 8.5 grams. Ooh, ooh, really well pigmented. Oh, but they blend out like a dream. And these have a very beautiful, soft, matte finish. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. These like blended themselves out. Oh my gosh. Incredible. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, we'll definitely check in with the blush at the end of this video just to see, has it faded, done anything kind of like strange? I do feel like blushes, sometimes they do that, they fade, like your skin eats them up, especially cream blushes. But yeah, we'll check back in, of course, at the end of this video and kind of like check in on everything. So no highlighters in this launch, that's okay. Let's move straight over to eyes. Let's get into the eyeshadows. I am like so excited, but actually let me throw in some eyebrow stuff. I'm just gonna use this clear brow sculpt from Refi. Just gonna throw this in. You know, it's funny, ever since I dyed my hair blonde, I don't feel like I need to use a lot of pigmented products in my brows because I feel like they already look very dark in comparison. And yeah, and so I don't want to add to that add to that. But I definitely want to make a video as to like what's changed. What has changed since I dyed my hair blonde? It hasn't been that long. I'm kind of waiting for like more time to pass to see if I observe any other changes. But yeah, I definitely want to make a video on that because there are some things that I completely expected and some things that have been like, oh, wow, I didn't know that was going to happen. So anyway, let's jump into these eyeshadows. So let's start with some swatches. Again, he sent me, I can't believe this, all 8 of the palettes, which is unbelievable. So I feel like out of these 8 palettes, we've got 5 palettes that are very colorful and they're like in a color story. And then the other 3 are a little bit more everyday neutral in idea, not exactly in tone, but there is a neutral one, there's a cool one, and then there's a warm one. And these I would imagine are going to be like the best sellers. And then these other 5 are just really, really fun and really fun and laid out by like color and hue. So I'm going to start with these more neutral ones. These are the ones that I suspect I'm probably going to be using the most and that I'll be using in today's video. So let's start with New Neutral. So every palette has 8 shades and there is a mixture of 4 different finishes. So 3D Matte, which is an innovative cream to powder matte. There's also satin and there's also metallic. Okay, so I'm swatching these as they appear in the pan. So across the top 4 and then underneath will be across the bottom 4 from left to right. And they're just numbered basically, and I'll be doing this for all of the palettes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. And that way I can refer to them to let you know what finish they are. So shades 1 and 3 are matte. Shades 2, 4, and 7 are metallic. Shades 5 and 6 are a 3D matte, which is that cream to powder pigment. And then shade 8, the last shade, bottom right-hand corner, is satin. So those are the 8 shades in the New Neutral palette. Next, let's move to the wonderful Warm palette. Again, I'll be swatching them as they're laid out in the palette. So shades 1 and 6 are metallic. Shades 2 and 8 are satin. Shades 3 and 5 are that 3D matte. And then shades 4 and 7 are matte. And then next, let's take a look at Composed Cool. I love, love, love this palette. It's so for this season. I mean, I'm filming this in October, which is just like the month of spooky. And I just think this palette is perfect. Okay, here we have shades 1 and 4 are metallic. Shades 2, 5, 6, and 7 are 3D matte. Shade 3 is satin and shade 8 is matte. All right, now let's get into these bright, beautiful palettes that are laid out by color. And this one is Passionate Purple. So here we have shade 1 is a 3D matte. Shades 2 and 8 are satin. Shades 3, 5, and 7 are matte. And shades 4 and 6 are metallic. Okay, here is Brilliant Blue. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. I feel like my mouth is watering looking at these palettes. All right, let's go through these swatches. Shades 1, 3, and 8 are matte. Shade 2 is a 3D matte. Shades 4 and 6 are metallic, and shades 5 and 7 are satin. Next, we have Generous Green and Yellow. Oh my God, I love this shade. Oof, the one with like a little bit of gold in there. Oh, I love it. Here we have shades 1, 3, 5, and 7 are 3D matte shades. Shades 2 and 4 are metallic, and shades 6 and 8 are satin. So this palette doesn't actually have any straight up matte shades. It does have 4 of those 3D matte shades. Here is Outstanding Orange, and this is gorgeous. So many of these shades are slightly peach, a little bit of like a camel color, like a little bit here. I feel like this is going to be a really popular palette out of all of the ones in the color stories. Shades 1 and 3 are 3D matte. Shades 2 and 6 are metallic. Shades 4 and 7 are satin, and shades 5 and 8 are matte. Oof, this is pretty too. So Rebellious Red and Pink. Shades 1 and 4 are satin. Shades 2 and 5 are 3D matte. Shades 3 and 6 are metallic. And shades 7 and 8 are matte. All right, I'm gonna try Nikki's brush. This is a fairly big, fluffy blender brush. This actually seems like a brush that would be great at the end when you just wanna, you know, kind of like for good measure, like blend everything in with a big fluffy brush with like no product on there, just kind of graze it over everything. So maybe I'll save it. Maybe I'll save it for that. Okay, unsurprising. All of my Nikki LaRose brushes are dirty. So I'm gonna go and use this Refer brush. This is the Shoto number 3 brush. And I'm gonna use a mixture of these two shadows because I think this one's too deep for what I want and this one's too light. And I wanna start with a soft brown, like on my outer corner. So I'm just gonna kind of go between the two. The first thing I look for when I use like a neutral brown shadow is, does it turn warm on my skin? That happens to me every so often. I've mentioned it happening to me when using like Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows. I feel like those eyeshadows perform really well, but for some reason her shades like really turn quite warm on me. And, you know, I just want shadows to appear on my lid the way they look in the pan, you know, for the most part. So anyway, that's kind of like the first thing I look for. And so far, so good. Okay, I'm gonna add just this shade. I'm not gonna go into that bone shade. Just gonna add that closer to my lash line, but I'm sticking to the outer corner here. Okay, loving the level of pigmentation. It's present, but it's not too much. I don't feel like I have to be like super duper careful when picking up the shadow and like making sure I'm tapping off a lot. Like you can really just continue to work, you know, like go in, apply, go in and apply and like build up slowly. It's really nice. And it is buildable, which is really great. I'm going to use Nikki's N24 brush. This is like a flat shader. And I'm gonna go into this. No, I want to try satin shade. This one I believe is the satin shade in here. So I'm gonna apply this all over. Beautiful taupe, love it so much. And again, I feel like when I go in and then apply on my lid, a nice amount of pigmentation, but it's not overwhelming or underwhelming. It's like the Goldilocks amount of pigment. Wow, that's pretty. So I'm gonna go into this first shade up here, which is a matte. I'm gonna just take that Shoto number 3 brush again and just deepen up my outer corner just a little bit. Not trying to do anything terribly dramatic today. So now I'm gonna take that N20 brush from Nikki LaRose and I'm gonna do what I was talking about. Just kind of buff everything out, almost like a mini Sonia G Buffer Pro brush with like finishing powder. What I like to do on my face. I like to do that with my eyes, but with just a plain old, no product brush. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna add that satin shade. All right, I'm gonna take my T05 from Isom and I'm gonna use this dark brown matte shade. I think actually this is a 3D matte shade, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 5 and 6, these both were 3D matte shades. And I find that the pigmentation is just a little bit more subtle than the straight up matte shades, these two matte shades. So let's see if this works as eyeliner. If not, I can go into one of the other palettes. Yeah, this has a much softer application, which, you know, may not be so bad. That's actually one of the things I've noticed with my blonde hair, that I feel like my makeup, I guess now because I don't have my dark hair to like compete with my features, that like you just see all of the makeup on my face so much more boldly that I feel like I have to almost like tone back my makeup a little bit. So I think this is actually this is actually working for me. But With that being said, if you are looking for like a real like sooty kind of eyeliner, like I really like using eyeshadow as eyeliner because you can blend it out, you can smudge it out, you get like a really dark, almost like a charcoal kind of line when you use eyeshadow. I would not use one of the 3D matte formulas. I would use one of the straight up matte formulas, maybe from the Composed Cool palette or even from the Wonderful Warm palette. Yeah, I'm liking this softer touch now. Okay, I love how subtle it is, but it's just really pretty. It's great for every day. It's a little amped up, like if you want to go out with your girlfriends, nothing too crazy. I love it. Absolutely love it. I just love how they apply too. And I love the level of pigmentation. I've said it already a few times, but I really, really like the very subtle level of pigmentation. It's not like it feels thin or it's patchy or there just isn't enough. It just feels like I can just kind of keep building slowly and I'm getting like a nice gradation as I'm building. I really, really like these shadows. Okay, let me, I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll apply mascara first and then we'll go in with eyeliner. I feel like his next release should include some sort of like, maybe like creamy kind of highlighter, like one that's kind of subtle, but just makes your skin look really glossy. I feel like if anyone could do like a subtle, sexy kind of highlighter, it would be Hung. Okay, just using my Lancome Flutter extensions. And now let's try this Soften the Edge Longwear eyeliner. So it looks like he has come out with 10 shades. So this one, oh, Soften the Edge is the color. Sorry, Longwear eyeliner. That's the name of it. I like that, direct. So Soften the Edge is the brown, and then it looks like they just have a whole slew of, you know, black browns and then some colors in there, greens, purples, blues, oh, and even a red and an orange. Okay, well, that's not surprising. I guess it's to go with the palettes. Anyway, so I've got Soften the Edge, and is this, oh, it's a twist up. It's a twist up, so that's convenient. And then, yeah, we've got that sharpener at the end. So it's to deliver the highest pigmentation possible in a liner. So these are a gel eyeliner. All right, let's try these. I'm going to tightline. And also apply to my lower waterline. Okay, so with eyeliner, without, I think you can really see the impact that it made. Really beautiful. And it applied onto the waterline easily. Really, really easily. And it's very light. It's not like one of those gel eyeliners that kind of leaves like a lot of product down. You know, the really soft ones that just, I don't know. I always feel like I can feel the gel eyeliners that are like that, and they just feel a little like sticky and tacky and kind of thick. This feels pretty weightless, I have to say. There, eyeliner on, really easy to use, very, very comfortable. Okay, thumbs up there. Now let's move over to lips. So I do have one lip liner. This is, let's see, Accentuating Longwear Lip Liner, that's the name of it. And then the color that they sent is Create the Shape. So this looks just like the eyeliners in terms of packaging. And then here is Create the Shape. That's a really nice contour, like a light contour shade for my skin tone. So for the lip liners, there are 9 different shades, and then Create the Shape is described as a neutral warm nude. And then he did also send along 3 of the creamy matte lipsticks. There are 18 shades all together. So let's take a look at the ones that he sent. So we've got, oh my God, On the Runway. Look at that orange. This is described as an impactful orange. I would say yes. And then next we have Nothing Impossible, which is a light peach brown. Oh my God, I love all these nudes. And then the last one he sent over is 8-8, which is a light nude. Let's start. I'm just so curious about Impactful Orange. So I think I can use a really neutral liner with that. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this Create the Shape lip liner. Nice, easy to use. Doesn't feel dry. And the pencil is firm enough where I feel like I have a lot of control over my line, which is nice. Okay, just going to smudge that out a little bit with my finger here. All right, okay. Impactful Orange, let's do it. I love, love, love orange lipsticks. I'm not sure that this lip liner actually can go with this orange. Maybe a little. Okay, guys, what do you think? Can I still wear orange lipstick with my blonde hair? I think I have less of a problem with it versus like the very pink blush that I have. I should have used like a coral blush, or I would use a coral blush with this lipstick. Definitely makes my eyeshadow look warmer, doesn't it? Like right up here, it looks a little bit warmer. I don't mind the orange with my blonde hair. I was really worried that this was a color I wouldn't be able to wear now that I went blonde, because I really liked this when I had my dark hair, my graying dark hair. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know down below what you think. I mean, I do think you either like orange lipstick or you don't. You know what I mean? It's not like a every once in a while. This is like a very, very bold color. Okay, let's move on. All right, let's try Nothing Impossible. So this is the nude with a little bit of peach in there. Wow, these are really, really pigmented. Okay, Nothing Impossible. Really pretty nude, peachy nude. I really like this formula. Very, very creamy, very, very comfortable, and really pigmented. Really, really pigmented. And finally, here is 88, which is a very light nude. I am sensing a concealer lip moment coming up, and I'm so excited. I feel like I need to blot a little bit. I feel like now that I have this color on, I see a little bit, a teensy bit of like a gold undertone, which is so interesting because it's not like there's nothing metallic in this lipstick. You can't see it at all. Actually, in the bullet, just looks like a light nude. But all of a sudden, I feel like I see a little bit like there's a gold overtone to my lips. Is that am I imagining things? Oh, I think that's so cool. Let me add a little bit of lip liner just so we're defining my lips a little bit. Yeah, I'm realizing how much I love like an unusual lip. I love orange. I love the concealer lip look. I love like a really, really gray mauvey lip color where it's very corpse-like. I enjoy that too. I love it. I love it all. I feel like if you're gonna release a makeup line, this is how you do it. Like no holds bar, we're gonna do lipstick, lip liner, eyeliner, 8 eyeshadow palettes, and not teeny tiny ones that have 8 shades in each, blushes, bronzers. I mean, I think he went all out, and I think all of the products are phenomenal. The blush has not faded, the bronzer is not faded, the eyeshadows are perfect. Like they're just fun to use because they're easy to use. The lipsticks, they're matte, but they're super creamy and super comfortable. I love it. I love it all. I love the look that I ended up with, for sure. Well, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I just want to congratulate Hung on this release, on finally like doing it, because he has been working as, you know, an exalted makeup artist for so long, and I feel like I've just been like waiting for him to come out with a makeup line, and does not disappoint. So a big congratulations to him. A big thank you for sending these products along to me. I'm such a big fan, and I'm so happy to have these products in my collection. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.